just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
But I think what's going on in Milwaukee right now with the Bucks, let's talk about their future. You think about Giannis Antetokounmpo, we know he's committed right now. He's locked in. Dame Lillard is locked in on a long-term contract. But his future and their future, and they still want to compete for a championship, obviously. And if they're not, as a franchise, going to win and going to win at a high level, if they're not going to show as an organization that they're committed to winning, Giannis Antetokounmpo, it's nothing that I think I'm sharing it. He has said it publicly time and time again that if they're not committed to win, if they're not winning at a high level, he's going to have to look at another option. I think there are multiple teams around the league, specifically teams that feel like if that got to that threshold, they'll look at a guy like Giannis.
All right, who chomps?
They are very closely monitoring. Closely monitoring how this season goes in Milwaukee, how he looks, how he plays. And you think about the pieces around him. Are they building the right way? We know Dame Lillard. We know what he's going to bring on a nightly basis. I reported yesterday, Chris Middleton is out for the season opener tomorrow night. He's out. We see what's going on with Kawhi Leonard, an indefinite period of time. Chris Middleton is essentially out an indefinite period of time. He's not going to just miss the opening night game. He's not going to be ready for their season opener against Chicago at home. So we'll see when he's going to be back.
So that was a few nights before the opening of the season, before they were set to play the Philadelphia 76ers. And these thoughts didn't just come out of thin air. All of a sudden, Giannis isn't happy. All of a sudden, it's not working in Milwaukee. All of a sudden, Giannis may want out. That's not the case. See, the actual case is the fact that last season, Adrian Griffin was 30-13, and you fired the coach who led his team to the second best record in the NBA. Offense doesn't have continuity, or the defense doesn't have much continuity. Okay, fine. Make some deals at the trade deadline. You make some, shifts and movements to your offense, make some changes to your defense, but you don't fire the coach who has the second best record in the NBA. And then also on top of that, Doc Rivers was serving as a consultant to the owners, and next thing you know, he's the head coach. That doesn't look shady at all. And then you look at the other fact of it is, Adrian Griffin was 30-13. You remove him from the scenario, you would expect that they skyrocket with whoever you put in that chair. With whoever you bring in, they're going to take it to the next level, beyond 30-13. Doc Rivers took over. They finished the season 17-19 under his umbrella, and you start the season 1-4. In total, he is 18-23 as the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. I've always said this. He's been hanging on due to that championship they had in Boston in 2008. He's getting opportunity after opportunity. He moved on to the Clippers, didn't get it done. Moved on to Philly, didn't get it done. Now he's in Milwaukee. That's another disaster waiting to happen, and I don't think he's going to last much longer. If you look at the Milwaukee Bucks right now, all right, they start the season in Philadelphia, 124-109. Dame goes off. Giannis plays great. You think, all right, they're winning the games that they're supposed to win. This is promising. Then you look at the rest of their schedule. All right, now, mind you, they did in preseason have a 1-3 record. You don't pay attention too much to preseason, but sometimes it can be a little telling of what's to come. They beat Philly. Then you lose to the Chicago Bulls, who feature Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine can't stay healthy. All right, nobody really wants him on their roster. All these other things have been said about Zach LaVine. You lose to them 133-122. How does that happen? If you're Doc Rivers and you're coaching this team to be at a championship level, how do you lose 133-122? First of all, giving up 133 to the Chicago Bulls of all teams. Then you play Brooklyn. They don't have a superstar anymore. They don't even have a guy that you would say is the head of the snake. Mikal Bridges went to New York. So you have Cam Thomas playing well, Dennis Schroeder playing well, Dennis Schroeder playing well, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons. I get it. But still, he's on the roster and he's a starter for that team. You lose by double digits to them, 115-102. How does that happen? They don't have anybody. Boston is Boston. I'll give you that. 119-108. Everybody probably assumed you're going to lose that game anyways. But tonight, you go into Memphis. There's no Marcus Smart. There's no Desmond Bane. You have everybody available to you outside of Chris Middleton. And you lay an unbelievable egg. An egg that I can't even fathom how going into tomorrow, if this was any other organization, any other team, all right, outside of, maybe the Spurs, Golden State, Miami, Boston, teams like that who have coaches that are locked in, who have championships under their belt, I don't see how any other coach in NBA history makes it through the next 24 hours without being let go, without being fired, him and the rest of his staff. I don't understand what is the allure of having Doc Rivers as your head coach, considering his history of not getting it done for championship teams. You look at the Memphis game tonight. All right, let's check the box score. 122-99. Like I said, no Desmond Bane, no Marcus Smart. The two guys that you should rely on to hit wide open threes, space the floor, and guard Damian Lillard for majority of the game. Take turns locking him down, all right? You look at Milwaukee. Giannis has 37 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Okay, 17-22. Damian Lillard's nowhere to be found. He's 1 of 12. He's minus 29, only has 4 points on the night. Gary Trent Jr. can't get off. He's brought there to be the shooter. Don't know why Taurean Prince is in the starting lineup. He's minus 22, 5 points. You look at their bench, very thin, very thin. You got Portis, and then you look down the rest. I mean, you got Portis, you got Connaughton, not much else after that. Even then, you still have the first, the third, and the fourth, the first, the third, and the fifth best players on the basketball court the entire night. John Moran has 26 points, 14 assists, 10 rebounds, 1 steal, and he throws an alley-oop from his backside. He dove for a loser ball, got the ball, looking around, throws a lob from his backside. Now, that's really indicative of the whole night. Yes, things going Memphis' way. Milwaukee's having a tough shooting night, but a lot of it is heart, energy, and effort, and then the second half of it is superstar buy-in. When you're watching these games, all right, the reason why Milwaukee is struggling is the same reason that I think the Lakers are going to be successful. You can clearly see that the star players are buying in to the philosophy that's being implemented. You watch Milwaukee tonight versus Memphis, as soon as it went bad, coming out of the first quarter, Memphis was up 16 points, 40-24 after the first quarter. After that, Giannis was not passing. He was not looking to move the ball. He was not looking to run offense. He was going downhill every single time, attacking the basket, and he was going isolation. He was not trusting anybody to do the work because trust is gone now. He doesn't trust the players. He doesn't trust his teammates. He doesn't trust the coach. And that's the coach's fault. You look at the numbers that Damian Lillard is putting up. 1 of 12. 0 of 6 from the three-point line. Trent, 4 of 12. 0 of 7 from the three-point line. You have two shooters that can knock it down like that. You have a superstar in Giannis Antetokounmpo that is going to get downhill and oppose his will every single time. They should be running this offense like the Orlando Magic did when they went to the NBA Finals in 2009. That's the way I see it. Now, the only problem with that is Doc Rivers is the coach, so for some reason, he doesn't have the mind or the understanding of how to put these pieces together for us to be successful when everybody at home and even the announcers can see maybe, just maybe, a guy that plays the way Damian Lillard plays should not be the one playing the role of a true point guard. In Portland, yes, he was the point guard and he led them in assists, but it wasn't a situation where he was coming up, running pick and rolls to get another guy the ball. He wasn't coming up to run the offense so you can get a guy coming off the screen, hit him for a shot. He was bringing the ball up and getting assists because of double teams. He was in a situation where he was wide open. He catch the ball, couldn't get a shot off, attack, and kick. Those were majority of his assists. He wasn't running an offense to set guys up like a guard like Jason Kidd or anything we've seen in the past. He wasn't a Chris Paul. He was a Steph Curry type. A guy that was going to get assists and move the ball simply because he was attracting attention of other players and drawing and kicking. That's how Damian Lillard likes to play. Doc Rivers doesn't have an offense for that, and for whatever reason, that's the offense he's choosing to run with, and they're not being successful. So, hey, I'm not saying Giannis could end up in Miami. I'm not saying he could end up in Brooklyn. I'm saying that Doc Rivers could end up out of Milwaukee and probably be done as an NBA head coach. Let me know in the comments, is Doc Rivers going to be fired? I'll give it a month. By the end of November, is Doc Rivers still going to have a job? Get this video, like, subscribe to the channel. There's one more for the good guys. We're on the road to 750. Help your boy out.